I am a woman in a military setting right now. I'm in the military. And I am, on some orders right now. And I am surrounded by only men. And let me just say this trip has completely changed my perspective on men and how I feel about them and how I've learned about them. Now, on the outside of a military setting, I'm just a normal person, right? I'm a nurse. Um, I would say I'm average looking. In a military setting, amongst testosterone driven men who don't see women or do not work with a lot of women, I am treated extremely differently here. And it has made me lose all faith in the male population. And I'm not even kidding. All of these men, okay, let's start here. There are some other women here. I'm not going to call them anything, but let's just say if a man does not find a woman attractive, I've learned that he does not fucking care anything about her. Doesn't want to talk to her, doesn't want to be near her. She could say something and he wouldn't even look her way. Okay? If he finds you attractive, different story, but even if he finds you attractive, he doesn't want to listen to you either. He just wants to talk to you and talk about himself, thinking that he's impressing you. And it's so obvious, and he doesn't know that it's so obvious. And it's such like a natural instinct that they do, and they just like, even if they're so book smart, it's like boom, their primal instincts kick in, and they just start talking about themselves and thinking that they're impressing you because they want to get in your pants, and it's like really unfortunate. And I knew this was all true before I came here, but I literally, when I tell you I see it every day, multiple times a day, it's making me lose a lot of hope and faith.
I'm not really understanding where the problem lies. And again, call me a Neanderthal. I am a C student, and I'm also a person that is very conservative Republican, and I lean way into my conservative bag, and I believe in gender roles. And I also try to make sense of the idea that we live in this new world where women are invading into men's spaces and men are invading in women's spaces, women invading in men's spaces when it comes to locker room talk, banter, obviously military and all of this type of stuff, deployment. She don't work with guys that work with a lot of women, and then men going into women's bathrooms on the women's side when you liberal, right? I'm not really seeing the problem of how this is an issue when guys are guys. Like men used to be men. But we have to integrate so much, and now we got to change our behavior for you. Why do we have to change our behavior for them to make them more comfortable around us when we get to naturally be whoever it is that we are around other people that can relate to what we do? So this almost sounds like locker room talk. It almost sounds like they're trying to penalize or trying to make men out to be monsters for instinctively being interested and trying to impress women in one example. Or, her example where she illustrated, well, if you're a woman and he's not attracted to you, then he not really talking to you like that or whatever. So which one is it? Do you want the guy to impress you, or do you not want him to spend his time trying to convince you that he's interested in you or that he wants to bust you down? And then men treat you according to how you teach them to treat you. So we treat women like women, and we treat the women that's for the streets like they for the streets, and we do it accordingly. And it's not discriminate, it's just the nature of how things are. And so guys that want to be with women, that's how they talk, right? And so wouldn't you want to just keep it 100% chill and professional if a guy wasn't interested in you? Do you think that he should be chasing you and chatting you up? Like, how is it any different from how you supposed to operate in the streets every day? But see, what I suspect is happening is that she is, big fish, small pond, meaning that she is a woman that is in a predominantly dominated male space. And so instead of men making her feel better about her situation, they just are naturally them. And then at the same time, she probably getting a lot of talk, a lot of motion or whatever, because it's a scarcity, right? Since it's a scarcity of women, that means she gets more attention than if it was just a whole lot of women. and they would have to pick her over other people. You know, you see what I'm saying? So what you're basically seeing is women complaining about men naturally being men, and they saying that they don't like it, they don't want to be around it. And I don't think it's because the men are wrong. I think because we have this feminist mindset that has tried to civilize us in ways that we're not supposed to be civilized. We are at our core primal. And our ability to be able to think our way out of a situation or civilize the world has, that's what gives us hierarchy over animals. But we still like women, and it's nothing wrong with that. And we still like banter and locker room talk, and we probably talk about things that y'all would find appalling. You know what I'm saying? When you're not around. And that's cool because we don't want to be a part of your conversations when you talking to your friends and or your gay best friends about stuff that y'all think is cool, because we don't think that's cool. And we not interested in that version of you or whatever you want to call it. You see what I'm saying? So again, I'm failing here to miss the problem, but maybe we'll discover something else as she continues.
Faith. Genuinely, genuinely. Um, I'm seeing different IQs, and it's giving primal alpha. Like I don't know. Like I just really didn't think it was like this, guys. I thought that there was a hope, but there's I don't know. I don't know. I don't know if there's hope. These men are cheating on their wives, cheating on their girlfriends. Every woman that walks by, they rate them. Talk about how they'd fuck them. Every single woman, and it's like
I don't believe that. Just because women walk by and guys rate them does not mean that they're cheating on their spouses. I don't believe that, bro. I just genuinely don't believe it.
the ones that think, like, you think, oh, he's a good guy, or like he doesn't talk about it, he's thinking it, and then he says it to his friends once they're out of a public situation. He'll say it to all of them, and you'll be like, oh my god, the one that I thought was actually a good guy, even though he wouldn't physically cheat on his girlfriend, he's talking about other women.
So it's when did it become bad? Like, do we have to pull our eyes out? Y'all acting like we don't see other women?
Just like guy culture. And it's mortifying, and I really don't see I
You know what's so funny? I also see videos of women, liberal women, feminist type women that says stuff like, where all of the real men are, right? Where are the men that approach women? Where are the men that act like men? Where are the throwback guys? Where are the guys? This is how guys used to be before there was this movement to try to feminize men and make all of them queer or gay or trans or whatever it is, like to validate this type of behavior. This is the way that it used to be. It used to be locker room talk. It used to be girls separated with the girls, boys separated with the boys. I went on the Michigan Central train station tour, and they were talking about how they used to have separate spaces for men and women when they came in, because until you got on the train, guys socialized with the guys and the women socialized with the women. And I think that's part of what's the problem here today. I think that that's the problem in our schools. I think it's the problems in our workspaces. I think it's the problems in our social settings. Is that we don't have any restrictions, and so we need guardrails in order to prevent women from being able to be in men's spaces. Because it sounds like she's misunderstanding. Oh man, they rate them. What do you mean? Okay, so what's the problem? Is this the first time that you would have been around a guy? And again, I think there's been this agenda that's pushed to try to make men more gay. And then they complain that there ain't no more real men out here because they want them all to be their girlfriends. Let me know what y'all think inside of the comments. Again, I always like to tag the content creator, so that link will be down in the description, giving credit regardless of whether I agree or not. I love y'all. I appreciate y'all. I'm going to holler at y'all later. Peace.